Welcome. I'm Ralph Plum with Mind Protein TV.
And I'm Konrad Supelnikov.
In this episode, we're going to be talking about social media ROI and some of the different concepts and tactics people are using out there, what's working and what's not.
We also cover in our Lights On, Lights Off section a marketing campaign that deals with using Groupons. I'm sure you've heard about the Groupons out there. And so what we're going to cover is whether it's something that you want to invest your money into or not.
Hey, as a consumer, man, I save a lot of money, get a lot of great deals, but we're going to evaluate if it's good for you and your business. Then we're going to get in the Get Off Your Ass segment, we're going to be talking about you and your action plan and how you can implement these ideas into your business now.
Yeah, I don't care how brilliant your ideas are, but if you don't figure out a way to implement them, they're not worth anything. So we're going to make sure you get off your ass and get it done.
All right, this week we're going to be talking about social media ROI. Most people understand what social media is, but they don't necessarily know how to use it or monitor it. So let's talk about some of the platforms we recommend for your business. Obviously, there's Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn are the three biggest that we're going to focus on today. Now, there's ways to spend money in social media that a lot of people don't really think about, Konrad, when they're thinking about their social media strategies. And the biggest is time. Everyone knows time is money. And the problem is they're not thinking about that when evaluating their social media strategies and their ROIs.
Absolutely. I think that's the most important resource that you have is your time. So you got to make sure that you value it and you spend it wisely. Now, for those people out there that don't know what ROI means, which every business owner should know. Ralph, what is ROI?
Very simply, return on investment. And right. That's a great point, Konrad. Return on investment should be evaluated in pretty much everything you do. It's most commonly tied to advertising and marketing dollars spent, but in everything you do. So how am I going to generate a return on what I'm doing in my business? And as it relates to social media, it should be something that analyzed really, really tightly. And as we'll get into, you can tell most businesses, particularly small businesses, do not do a very good job of it.
Running a business is about incremental improvements. And if you don't track numbers within your business and don't track what your ROI is, you cannot make improvements. And that's the most important aspect of it. Oftentimes when you start off a marketing campaign, you are not going to have, tremendous results. But the key is to be able to improve from week to week and actually make it work.
So Konrad, what's my ROI on my social media campaigns when I sit in here in the first 2 hours of my day and I'm sitting here playing around on Facebook?
That's a good question, and you have to be able to track.
Check out the ex-girlfriend's pictures and stuff like that. Exactly. The point is, you got to know what you do, and you got to have money revenue generating tactics within your social media campaigns. So let's look at a couple. One way you can spend money outside of time is Facebook ads, and it's something that's becoming increasingly popular now. Not like Mark Zuckerberg needs any more of your money. The guy's worth $7 billion and he's 26 years old, but it's a good way to help generate some money into your business.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, the important part is when you're spending money, you want to see money coming back. I think misconception about social media is you're just going to go out there and be present and things are just going to happen for you. You have to have a process in place in order to see what happens from the time somebody sees your ad to the time they click on it to the time they actually come in and leave their information for you or take action, whatever it may be. And Ralph was going to get into what types of activities can happen when somebody interacts with your content on social networks.
Well, there's two main ones that we see and that we implement in our business, but they're really calculated in two different ways. One is someone can like a Facebook fan page. So if you have your business, you should set up a Facebook fan page for your business. And that's in addition to your own personal profile page if you have one of those as well. On a Facebook fan page, someone can choose to like your page. When they choose to like it, they're going to show up and you're going to show up. Any sort of changes that you make to your page, any additions, any pictures you post to your page, it's going to show up in their news feed. Right? And so there's an obvious benefit there, but it's difficult to track when that turns into sales, right, Konrad?
Absolutely. And that whole concept of somebody liking your content, it's very important to understand why that will benefit you. Because when somebody likes you, basically they're willing to share all that information with their friends, right? And that's what it's all about, exponentially growing the exposure of whatever message you have that you're communicating to the group of friends that the people may have.
Let's look at a quick example here. And now let's look at this ad. this ad is from Corona, and you'll see the ad that'll pop up on the right side of right navigation in a Facebook profile. Well, that ad, let's click through that ad, and now we come to the Facebook Corona page, the fan page for Corona. All they're doing here is they're getting people to like the page, and typically you'll see this with big brands. It's almost impossible for them to calculate an ROI on this campaign. And that's why we recommend, if you're a small business owner or an internet marketer, this is a very difficult strategy to monetize and evaluate whether or not it's working. Now let's look at an alternative strategy, Conrad.
Yeah, you know what? Before you move on to the next strategy, though, Ralph, I wanted to bring it up. Even if you are going to go down the path of getting likes, make sure at least you're tracking it from week to week, right? See what's happening there. You know, I mean, I agree. I wouldn't necessarily put money into creating a campaign where somebody clicks on a like button. You know, that's something you can create organically in Facebook through interaction. But if you are going to do that, you know, set up metrics and track it from week to week to see if you're actually making improvement.
You can see how much you're spending, and you can see how many people are liking your page, but you still can't see how many people go from your ad to directly liking your page. So you could be getting all those likes organically. Yep, so that's why it's important to split test it. So run it for a month or a week and see how many likes you're getting, and then don't run that ad and see how many likes you're getting. So compare the two and see if it makes sense or not. Because you might be getting all that traffic and all those likes organically through your existing followers sharing your information or your page with their friends on Facebook.
Absolutely. You know, and you know, as a marketer, I like avenues or channels where I can really nail down what is happening, and this is why Facebook ads can be so, you know, effective. You know, and many people have started doing their ads on, you know, Google searches, Yahoo searches, etc. Now, as we see the shift that is happening in the internet space between, you know, people just passively searching for information and going into environments like Facebook where you were very interactive and, you know, people are spending more and more time there. You know, it's a great platform to start putting your ads in, and that's why Facebook ads is what we're talking about today. But again, you need to know what happens once they see your ad. You need to be able to track the numbers. So,
well, I've been bashing Facebook ads here. I've been pretty negative Nancy over here, but let's talk about a positive way you can track ROI through Facebook ads, and that's through an opt-in or a name capture or an email capture outside of just a like on a Facebook page. So there's two ways you can do this. You can set up a separate opt-in in the form of like an HTML or any sort of web page where if they click the Facebook ad, they'll be pushed to that page, or you can even do it directly through your Facebook fan page and set up an opt-in on your Facebook fan page. Now, either way, what you're going to do is you're going to capture their name and email address, and when we market to them down the road, we'll be able to tag them and say, hey, they came through a Facebook ad. We'll know how much we spent on that lead or that group of leads, and then we can calculate exactly how much money we made from those leads over a given period of time. And now we can see what our return on investment or ROI is on a very calculated, controlled basis.
And the key there is to just setting up and knowing what the lead source is, right? Because this is not going to be your only marketing campaign. You're going to have multiple marketing campaigns running on the internet, as well as, you know, through maybe direct mail or otherwise. You want to be able to identify where they originally came from. You know, that's the key concept there, because then you can really pull up the information and know if those efforts are actually converting. You know, it's not just good enough to get people to come into your website, for example, leave information behind. You know, you want to take it a step further, not only have them leave the information, but actually see what happens after they leave that information. Are they actually types of people that, okay, maybe they got really excited about your initial offer, right? But down the line, they're not converting as well on, you know, whatever it is you're trying to offer them, whatever services or products, right? And then a different channel may not be converting as well in terms of the amounts of people that are coming in, but they may be buying at a much higher rate than another lead source. So it's, you know, important thing to track.
Absolutely. And we've just talked about two quick examples. Now let's look at a third example of utilizing Facebook ads. Now this is one, absolutely, I'm going to throw money at you, right? Here's me throwing money away. Our excellent producer is going to put some money in my hand, I promise you. But the worst thing you can do is this example here. Conrad, I was clicking around Facebook ads. I was looking for some examples to use here on our show today, and I randomly came across one where I clicked on the Facebook ad and I got to this web page. It's a broken link. So someone is sitting here paying a $7 billion man, Mark Zuckerberg, a certain amount of dollars per click, and they're not getting anything from it. They're going to a broken link. I mean, that's just throwing money down the drain. You really have to go out of business. And I guarantee this person, if they don't get their shit cleaned up pretty quick, they're going to be out of business.
That's right, man. That's why you want to test everything you do, and not only testing it in terms of the numbers, but actually making sure it works. You know, too many people, what they do is actually they outsource their efforts to an outside company, and you know what? They never take a look at what even happens. You know, so you want to make sure that if you're putting money and efforts into it, you know, at least go to your own ad and click on it and see if it works. You know, and I think too many people forget about that.
Yeah. Great. Well, there's a few examples on social media ROI using Facebook ads.